name is Marc Fong. I'm a mediator, arbitrator, and neutral evaluator here at JAMS. So one of the things, it's kind of my mantra, I never give up on a case. I always come in with a positive attitude. We're going to get this settled. That kind of optimism keeps everybody engaged, and I think that's appreciated by the parties. So I view mediation in different phases, getting to know the parties, getting to know their interests, rather than immediately jumping into the legal issues. I review very deeply the mediation briefs, the evidence that they intend to proffer, the legal arguments. I ask a lot of questions and elicit responses that are helpful to my designing the mediation process. I think a good arbitrator has to listen, to be patient, and to be respectful of the process. Create as comprehensive an order as possible so that the dates are known by all parties as to when documents have to be produced, witness lists exchanged, so forth and so on. So it's important not only for the arbitrator to prepare those type of succinct documents, but it's also important for the attorneys to be acutely aware of what's required of them in preparation for their case. I enjoy the diversity of cases that I am privileged to handle. Because of my background as a mediator and arbitrator, I have a preference for business disputes, real property matters, and complex civil litigation, including employment. Mediation offers a lot of flexibility. We can resolve oftentimes more than just the pure legal issue. For example, if there's a large emotional component, I had one case. There were these two brothers that were fighting. They hadn't talked to each other for 5 years. They had a joint landscaping business together. And so my office is 2 stories, and I was in the bottom story, and I was talking to one of the brothers, and I could hear it was just kind of a rote memory accusations against his brother as discussed through the attorney. And as he was talking, it didn't seem sincere to me, and I could see kind of a quivering in his mouth and kind of a movement in his eyes. And so as he was going through this litany, I said, "Can you stop for just a second? I want to ask you something." I says, "I see kind of a facial tic. Can you tell me what that's about?" And he couldn't speak for a moment. And then he broke into tears. And he says, "I still love my brother." And so I went upstairs. Brother upstairs was doing the same thing. You know, my brother did this, my brother did that. And I said, "Can I tell you something?" He said, "What?" I says, "I was just downstairs, your brother's in tears, and he says he loves you." It broke him up too. These people hadn't been to Thanksgiving together forever. And I saw them in my parking lot. They were hugging one another, and I understood they were planning on joining each other for Thanksgiving. What a beautiful case. What a beautiful result. That was the best case I've ever resolved.